Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa Rasulullah. Whenever I go for an opening remarks, I always ask people to be positive and think good about themselves, especially if we're starting the day. So please, all of you start by saying, what a wonderful, beautiful, marvelous day today. All right? So don't forget it. What a wonderful, beautiful, marvelous day. And keep your smile beads on the face, because the more you smile, the more your muscles on the face and the whole body react to. So we need you to get the best out of the day today, and make sure you go back home with the real leads in your pocket. This is the 10th year we are starting this program about marketing and branding. And you can never speak marketing without the language of branding, so they came really hand in hand together. Just like when you talk about marketing and the sales, the PR with the other stuff integrated with the whole things. For those of you who've been with me on this legacy, on this great journey since I started back in February 2009, when we had the financial crisis and other, I remember I stood on the same podium here, and I said one thing, that being a positive of yourself, being sure about yourself, discovering who the person you are, and that you were set for a higher purpose in this life, can make the big difference. And that is the driving force for making a better tomorrow. And I said that day, I remember very well, that the years coming ahead are very challenging years. So we have to be very realistic, optimistic, I used to call this. By what I mean by this, I have to be planning for the worst, but thinking for the best. You have to have two mindsets in me as a person to be able to overcome the challenges and the odds. Things are not getting better, things are getting worse. That is the reality, where some of us are trying to hide away from it. If you go, for example, visit the UN Climate Change Office, just right now through your Google, the worst year ever of pumping gas to the atmosphere was this year, 2018. And we think that we have done so much sustainability, we have done so much improvement in the environment, that things are getting better. Things are not getting better. That's unfortunate. There's a lot of challenge. We need to overcome the challenge together. No one can live in island nowadays. We have to work together. It is better together. And if you look at the Fortune 500 companies, most of them, I would say 80% of them, they were created during tough time. They were created during the bad times. They were created when people start to talk about them as crazy initiatives, crazy entrepreneurs. And those guys, they lost their mind, and they're going to lose their wallet soon. But then they stood against all the odds, against everyone, and says, no, we are here to make a difference, and we are here to create a difference. So there's a big difference when you're driven by a true north. You know your basic reason on this earth, and you know where you're heading to. And there's a big difference when you have a magnetic north. It tells you the direction you're heading in a very magnetic way, right? A structured way. If you don't have a choice. The true north, you have a choice, and that makes a big difference. So we need you, the person, to be the person you're meant to be. We need you to rethink your thinking, rework your work. You know the theory of the glass, if it's half full or half empty. You know this, right? Almost everyone has heard about it, yes. Right? When it comes to the marketing, you know, marketers, they're always smart. They always have solution. If you show this to a marketer, says, hey, Mr. Marketer, what do you think of this glass? He will say, this glass needs resizing, right? So you need to resize the glass. He would never say this is half empty or half full. If you show the same glass again to the branding manager, says, hey, Mr. Branding Manager, what do you think of this glass? He said, this glass needs a logo on it, right? So everyone on this life sees the things happening in the way how they've been perceiving and conceiving, if you would, in a way, things. So one of the initiative, and I was hoping reaches our beloved Prime Minister Hizani Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, is when I stood up back in February 2009, I said, Your Highness, please think of creating a new ministry with a very weird name called the Ministry of Marketing and Branding. And the basic role of this, your ministry, is to market you and brand you as a company, as a country, and as companies who are living here. We have some companies here, whether at the private or the public listed ones, they have done a good achievement outside the border of UAE, outside the borders. So we have a lot of, but we need to structure a branding and marketing for them. At the same thing, as a country, still you need to position yourself in a way. You love number one. You want to be always the leader in so many things. You have the tallest building, the biggest, these things need still a lot of efforts to market it and to position yourself as a country. So I'm again giving my appeal to him. After 10 years, I keep repeating this from time to time whenever I have a media interview or whenever I speak, that you need to create a ministry of marketing and branding and to look deep inside this one. That is one of the fundamentals of and the things I live with. The second, I remember saying this very clearly, that the yesterday's tools are yesterdays. They are not relevant anymore. We need to find new ways and new means and new tools of tomorrow. And this cannot be done overnight. So we still need everybody's collective effort. We need to bench with each other, see the best practices, the lesson learned, how we could really have such more and more network opportunities so we can exchange and tweet with each other in a way to bring a better tomorrow. We need to think of new tools. Now, I know a lot of people who could really join for such a short function like today, for 3-4 hours, and they hold no certificate at all. They've never heard about Kotler, or they've never went to any of the marketing theories and principles and philosophies, and they don't believe in marketing the way how you believe, or you and I have gone through so much years and tears, right? And they would charge you not less than $3,000, $3,000 for this function. They become celebrities or fashionista, or what they call them. They have very fancy names here, we call them, but that's the reality. They know nothing about branding, nothing about marketing, but they're very well known through the society. And they become very influencing also. They influence, and they have a lot of followers. Some of them exceeding million plus. And the more followers you have, they have, the more they charge you on. And I was with His Highness on this gold exhibition lately in Sharjah about a week back. And I have seen, they are celebrities now. Honestly, everybody would come and try to take a click with them, whether the ladies and the gents. So they become real celebrities. And I start, talking about how much they charge. I was really said, oh my God, I have people who are coming from Harvard still looking for jobs around here. And those guys, they've got no certificate. They charge your twice of your salary per day and per event, that much. So the tools of today is different than yesterday. And today's solutions, tomorrow's problems. That is my basic philosophy. The third thing, which I keep pushing and saying, that we become, as Dr. Tariq said, that we become much more psychological than logical people. We think in psycho way, not in logic way. And that is another challenge. And good marketer would really capitalize on this, right? As Tariq said, they can sell you a good body built, and you have a big belly here in front of you. Says, if you take this pill, you go to this school and you do a little exercise, you'll become like him or here. And you start living the dream, and you start to charge premiums, right, here and there, just to sure you want to get that perfect body, the perfect look. So we are sold now by the future, by the future sales, as they say. So now the bottom line here, I'm trying to say, thanks for the speakers, thanks for those who travel all the way from so many countries. We have more than 7 countries here. Today, as you all know, is the soft, very, very soft opening. Tomorrow is the hard. So if you want to differentiate between the soft and the hard, please do come with us tomorrow, right? Even the food is different, I guarantee you, right? The one other thing, one part of the culture here, by the way, is to find the brightest person today. The brightest person will identified by a title called Brilliant Networker. Brilliant Networker. So what does it mean? That we have over almost 80 to 90, I would say. Mashallah, I've seen almost all the table are full. There will be a session during the day that will be breaking before the first break of the day, and asking you to exchange as much as you can, the cards, the business cards you're having. And the one who collects the highest card, he will be the shining star tonight, right? So we'll be sending him to Hollywood for a movie, shooting a movie, right? So be ready. So we'll be given recognition. You'll have the chance, I'll have the chance to take a picture with him or with her, right? So we have a good, fair number of ladies today. So please, ladies, be up to the competition. Don't let the guys, to beat you today. So it is your day. Make sure that you're more attractive than being a handsome, like Dr. Tariq says. Book of yours says the resolution of 2019. Well, again, this is back to positivity I'm trying to create in every one of us, right? I need to be positive. You need to be positive, isn't it? And for that, we have released the 2019 My Resolution. I'm sure your resolution could be the holy book this big, or they could be this tiny. I don't know. But these are mine, and I'm sharing them with you from now too early. So think positive, be positive, right? So this is one. The second, I'm releasing my new book, by the way, right? So tomorrow I'll be talking about it. That talks about my really transformational journey about the marketing and branding in Siwa. The organization was near death, and alhamdulillah, I was able within 4 years of time to make a big transformation change. As you see, this is a big size book and came from my own words. I don't have a co-writer, I don't have a ghost writer with me, right? So I did my level best to share with you. I mean, you won't get a copy, by the way, because it is so cheap to be sold. It is $1 million each. So each copy is, oh no. I'm just doing the soft launching tomorrow morning, right? But later on, if you're interested in reading, it will be really a good read, because full of my personal stories, as well as the global leader stories for those who run through the same race I was running through. Thank you very much.